Oh yeah, I think the fob's still intact over there. Kids who did bury a Bassie with helmet right there at that fob too. He's like, fuck trying to fly anywheres. He's like, if it lives, it lives. Mm-hmm.
Long war tactics, besieging towns and cities in the south and in other places, and then carrying out these attacks in the west overnight and also yesterday. The west of this country is still open. It is still open to Eastern Europe, and that has been an active supply line, bringing in weapons from Eastern Europe into this country, particularly American weapons, those javelins that have been so effective against Russian armored vehicles. And now, with this strike overnight on that training base that killed at least 35 people, according to the local governor, and injured more than 100, it seems that Russia is saying that nothing is off limits, and it is trying to limit the supply of shoulder-fired Stingers, javelins, and other kinds of weapons that have been flowing into this country. Also, watch what's going on in the south, another indication that Russia is going for a long war. The Russians are now trying to set up their occupation in a more permanent way, even though there have been protests against the Russian presence in the city of Melitopol, which Russia controls. Russian forces replaced the mayor and appointed a Russian agent, and local officials worry that Russia is going to hold some sham referendum to make its political occupation more permanent.
Hey, Richard, I'm concerned about the strike in the West. I know you had an interview over the weekend with a U.S. military veteran, not active duty. We don't have any active duty U.S. military in the country. But he's of Ukrainian descent. He's an American citizen, and he was training for the fight to help hit Ukrainians against the Russians. We could have a number of American citizens in country fighting the Russians right now. Perhaps they were targeted in that strike, correct?
It's possible, and I've met several Ukrainian Americans who are here, who volunteered, who are heading toward the front lines or are here in this city. So as this war continues and continues to escalate, it is very possible you're going to have dual nationals, Americans. There was some sort of explosion, and again, it sounds like it's pretty far away, but on the close to Kiev just now. So yes, it is possible that you could have foreign nationals, including Americans, caught up in the violence.
Richard Engel.
Likely, I would say.
Richard Engel with the reminder in the background there that this is an active war zone. Richard, thank you. And joining me now is President Biden's National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. Jake, welcome back to the press.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
I want to see your reaction overnight to what has happened with shelling now in the West. That military training facility that was hit, a missile may have struck 15 miles from the Polish border. Has any of this escalation into trying to destroy supply lines, indiscriminate bombing in the West, has this changed the president's calculus at all about things like a no-fly zone or things like that?
Well, Chuck, the American president has been clear for some time now that there are no U.S. troops currently operating in Ukraine, in eastern Ukraine or in western Ukraine, and that that we will defend every inch of NATO territory, but U.S. forces will not engage Russian forces inside Ukraine. That remains true today, it remains true on the ground and in the sky. But what we will do is increase and intensify our efforts to supply Ukrainian defenders with the weapons and security assistance they need to defend themselves. And just yesterday, the president approved an additional $200 million of military assistance to flow rapidly into Ukraine, and we're coordinating the efforts of our allies and partners to do the same thing.
Is there going to be any sort of necessity to have a military escort for that aid? I mean, if they're now going to bomb supply lines, and Russia said any of this is fair game in their mind, how are you going to protect the aid that we're sending in to make sure the aid gets in the hands of the Ukrainians and, say, doesn't end up accidentally in the hands of the Russians?
Well, I want to be very careful on your program or on television at all in terms of talking about the operational details of those supply lines and the means by which those weapons are getting to the front lines and into the hands of Ukrainian defenders. I will just say this, that yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we are determined, and the Ukrainians are determined, to ensure that anti-tank, anti-armor,
You good? You live? No, that's like the random bed and transmitter where we're making rafts yesterday. I would just spawn on Lava Island and on the beach and just run over. You could also just grab a motorboat too. The far north in the sea, there's motorboats. You can probably grab one of those and drive it over if you wanted. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Let me tell you a story.
Shrek's way better. Shrek's way better. Forward and back on the left joystick. Same thing you do a regular raft. What do you mean? Where the generator is. You gotta like get it just right. The foundation, yeah. The generator's on the boat itself. So you just gotta get like just the right angle to access the boat. It's just to make sure that the fucking junction boxes are under the metal foundations, protected. That's the way I built it. It's not the best, but it's quick. Like you're driving a bus. Yeah. I would stay shallow to avoid alpha leads. Also, the turrets I think are on all targets. I would change them to player only when you get to shore. Yeah, you're gonna wanna turn that shit off. Put it on player only when you got a minute. Yeah. Yeah, we had an issue with leads when we brought them up there. You can do it from underneath pretty easy. I'm like right up next to their cliff plat, basically over their front door on a Magnusaur. Get shoreline. You want to stay close to shore to avoid them. Yeah. Floating fucking, yeah. I would park it like just down the shoreline from that a little bit. Get shore, go shore, go shore, go shore. Yup. Yeah, you gotta like hug the shoreline on center, bro.